don't know their credentials, but I don't think they had the training to be doing that kind of stuff. Content and trigger warning. This show contains strong language, mentions of intimacy, and conversations about challenging faith experiences. Content is not appropriate for children. Please listen with care. For details on individual episodes, visit www.soakoperapodcast.com. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The opinions expressed are our own, based on personal commentary and speculation. It may not be factual.
Welcome to Soak Opera, the podcast where ex-Mormon besties unpack the chaos of Utah's wildest reality shows because Utah's reality is stranger than fiction. I'm Nina, blessed LDS, and even more blessed to have been raised Catholic, currently in my FLDS core era.
And I'm Shelby, a Utah-bred ex-Mormon who's now a mess-loving missionary for Bravo. And for those of you who are new to the show, Nina and I met 10 years ago working in a Mormon clothing store. We both have lived in Utah for many years and started this podcast to stay in touch whilst living far apart from each other. Nina, this is a very, very, very special episode. I'm sure you could tell because I'm wearing my cutest bonnet and my cutest hairstyle.
Yes.
I'm just kidding. But I am actually very excited for this episode. We are going to be talking about MLMs.
Yes. Before we get started, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Spread the gospel of the Soak Opera podcast. Come and join us. And yes, let's talk about these MLMs because we need to. They need to be stopped.
So my question for you is, do you want to be your own boss?
Oh my gosh, yes. I want to be a boss babe.
Well, Utah isn't just the unofficial headquarters of MLM culture in America. It is basically the Silicon Valley for direct selling. Roughly 20 to 25% of all U.S. MLMs have been started in Utah County alone.
Wow.
Utah County is where Provo is, for those of you who don't know. And a lot of them are within 30 miles of each other. Pretty wild. And yeah, why Utah? So first of all, Utah is very entrepreneur friendly. The local laws make it very easy for people to start businesses. It's a huge part of Utah culture. And I don't have any evidence for this. It's just my educated guess, but the tight-knit social networks and community bonds alongside just women being expected to have, typical gender roles within their marriages makes it just a prime place for MLMs to thrive. You are a woman and you're supposed to run the household, but you would like to have a career, then, it makes a lot of sense that an MLM would be appealing. It's supposedly a way you could make money in your free time. You could do it after you take your kids to school, after you clean your house, after you make dinner, all these things. Utahns are often in each other's homes. You're at your neighbor's house. You're doing church activities with all of the people in your direct neighborhood. So it sounds like it makes sense on paper. Curious, what's your experience with MLMs?
My experience with MLMs has been...
Is that you invested all of your money in... No, I'm just kidding.
Thank goodness I remember being a child on the internet with a lot of access. And so I was like, get rich quick, how to get a lot of makeup.
Get a lot of makeup.
I stumbled on Mary Kay, and of course, the second that I told my dad about it, I was like, Dad, oh my gosh, you would not believe. He was like, okay, internet access revoked. We're putting a password on everything because ain't no way you're going to take your $10 and steal my credit card to do any of this.
So your dad stopped you in your
yes,
tracks.
yes. And I eventually learned more about it. And it's so true that if it sounds too good to be true, it is not true.
Yes. Yeah, that I couldn't agree more. Have you ever tried any MLM products before?
Oh, yes. Yes, I
Are
have.
any of the products good that you've tried?
I actually have tried a good Mary Kay mascara,
Okay.
but it's just not for me. I prefer my Sephora brands for sure. And I have experienced a doTERRA mom applying peppermint oil behind my ears to help me with a headache. And I did have it, it worked. I did not have a headache after that, but I don't know that it cured anything.
Yeah, I mean, as you know, newer audience members may not know, I have worked in consumer goods for a very, very long time, and presently I'm working on the e-commerce marketing side. But I'm going to tell you right now that if a product is any good at all, the best way to sell it is probably online or in a store that already has a lot of traffic. Yeah, good products, no need to sell it one unit at a time, door to door, or
Mhm.
even at a party that has 15 people. That is still a very expensive and just nonsense way to try and make money. But
Yeah, because if you're making the majority of your money by getting other people to spend their money on product to then sell to other people, like that's the whole MLM thing. You make money from recruitment, and it's not like recruiting for the military. It's recruiting it's recruiting vulnerable people to spend all the money they have to try to get rid of this product.
yeah. So just to back it up a little bit, if you aren't aware of what an MLM is, it is multi-level marketing. It's basically just a teensy, itsy bitsy bit different than a pyramid scheme legally, just so it's a legal business. But yeah, the whole concept is that instead of selling a product in a store online, you can sell goods door to door or through social networking, through parties, through events that you might throw. A lot of these products are beauty products, essential oils, sometimes it's leggings. And the real way to make money, right, isn't by selling the products, it's by convincing other people that they should buy an inventory and they should sell the products. So anytime somebody signs up under you, you convince a person to invest in an MLM or invest in their own business. You get a commission from what they sell and so on and so forth. I mean, mathematically, it's just impossible for all of these people to make that much money or even just like a living wage. If you want to know more about MLMs, I highly recommend the first season of a podcast called The Dream. They do a really good job of breaking down what an MLM is, like legally and business wise. We're not going to dig into that too much. I really just want to focus on some of the really, really famous MLMs in Utah. And you brought up essential oils.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Please tell us everything, because I know I've heard so much about doTERRA, Young Living. Like, it's unbelievable the claims that these essential oil people make.
Yeah. So I do want to start with Young Living. Young Living is one of the largest essential oil MLMs, and we'll go into this later, but doTERRA is actually started by people who left Young Living, but they're
Ooh.
very much similar companies. Young Living was started in 1993 in Levi by D. Gary Young and his wife, Mary Young. He really started his career, shall we say, peddling wellness products and like an alternative to conventional medicines and whatnot. He started his, I guess, fortune out operating unlicensed health clinics. And
gosh.
some of these unlicensed health clinics offered childbirthing services. And in 1982, he attempted to home birth his own daughter in a bathtub, and she unfortunately died due to oxygen deprivation. And yeah, there was a lot of damage done. He had absolutely no medical background whatsoever. Young Living has been subject to a lot of lawsuits and regulatory scrutiny. He distanced himself successfully from these clinics and started selling essential oils as an alternative to over-the-counter medicines. Young Living has pled guilty to for trafficking plant materials that are in violation of the Lacey Act. And even though the company no longer makes these claims, many sellers make claims like these essential oils can cure cancer, can cure diabetes, all kinds of things. A lot of the Young Living executives got fed up with Young Living and they started doTERRA. doTERRA's in Pleasant Grove. It kind of circling back to our episode on fashion. Go back and listen to that one. It is such a fun episode. But doTERRA has, they are also, of course, essential oils, but they have these humongous and very beautiful flower fields, and a lot of Utah fashion brands and Utah influencers have photo shoots there. It's gorgeous.
That's crazy. All those beautiful flowers have no idea that they're being used
Yes.
to peddle horrible ideas.
Yeah, I mean, I have been to those flower fields for the purposes of selling modest clothing. Yeah, it's pretty sad. I don't have any actual documentation of this. I have just heard from some personal sources that have alleged that their C-suite uses psychics to make business decisions.
What? Oh my gosh. I never want to get any flack for semi-believing in astrology ever again because, oh my goodness.
I know. I mean, I guess they're making money. Well, the people at the top are making money, but
you con enough people, you'll make money.
Yeah. I've also used doTERRA before. I didn't purchase it, but I have been given doTERRA for, sinus headaches. I tried the mint under your nose and behind your ears. That does work. I'm not going to say who, but one of my relatives has sold doTERRA, and that same relative also has invested in Amway and Avon. So I've had an MLM household, we shall say. I've never attempted to sell MLM products myself, though. But yeah, I want to dive into some of the beauty products. That is huge in Utah, MLM beauty products. I think that the essential oils are probably the more famous ones, and we don't even have time to dive into all of the beauty products that there are in Utah. I know Avon is not founded in Utah, but there is a huge Avon presence in Utah. Mary Kay has a huge presence in Utah as well. It is not founded there, but what was it? Lip Sense has a corporate office in Utah, and Perfectly Posh does as well. But New Skin is one of the big players. It's one of the earliest and most infamous Utah MLMs. They sell skincare and nutritional products globally. I know it's very, very popular in Asia, and it has been repeatedly investigated in multiple states and in China for regulatory scrutiny and misleading marketing tactics, as we know. And if you don't know from watching The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Justin was one of the big players at New Skin. And that is allegedly where Whitney and Justin met, was working at New Skin. Whitney apparently worked on the events team, and Justin was much higher up on the food chain. And they had an affair. and are now married. And it's literally down the road from the temple. It has a humongous presence in Provo. Yeah, what do you know about Nu Skin?
I just remember walking past the basketball arena in downtown Salt Lake and just seeing that giant Nu Skin sign on the basketball arena and the Delta Center. And I was just like, what the heck even is that? And I actually was home for Thanksgiving and I saw a bottle of the face cleanser in my family's house. I was like, and I did try it. It wasn't bad, but it's also just like one use. And I'm still thinking that's an MLM.
Yeah, I mean, working in retail too. So the Nu Skin, well, doTERRA and Young Living also have very large conventions once a year in Utah. But Nu Skin, their convention, their annual convention in Salt Lake is one of the most insane times of year to work in retail because there is just a humongous volume of tourists coming through the mall to waste time or just to wander after, before, during the conference. And what is particularly stressful about this convention is that it attracts a lot of people from Asian countries that don't speak English, which is totally fine. But there's just a lot of people you cannot communicate with that are shopping. And
yeah, whether they speak English or not, they're coming at you like, excuse me. And I'm just like,
yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like worse than Black Friday. Have you ever worked during one of the Nu Skin conventions?
Yeah, I remember one time I think we were both scheduled and it was just like slammed all day. I had no clue. I was like, it's not general conference. Like, it's not Black Friday. Like, what the heck is going on? And I remember you mentioned like, oh, it must be that Nu Skin convention.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, after all, I was running around so much. I thought to myself, I'm gonna need nude skin on my feet.
Truly. Yeah, it is. It's one of those times when you're married to the registers. You are not going to have a bathroom break. You are not having a lunch break. You are bringing up people that are very upset and frustrated that they cannot communicate.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, you can't go to the bathroom yourself, but you're giving directions to the bathroom. You're like, this is where the food court is.
Describe your lunch to me, please. I'm starving.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, I do want to move on to Wild Rose Beauty, or SOL people, which of course was founded by our queen,
our king and queen,
Whitney Rose, and Justin of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Yeah, it's a skincare line. It was originally called Iris and Beau. It eventually got folded into another MLM called Soul People. And it's more wellness oriented than Nu Skin, but it is very similar. They've really tried to pivot away from being called an MLM. They call it social selling.
Very funny.
I have seen people say online that they were barred by Bravo from talking too much about Wild Rose on the Real Housewives because of the type of business it is. I don't have any evidence for that, but I have just seen a lot of people saying that on Reddit and whatnot. Makes sense. Yeah, they're all promoting their products. I mean, God, like Lisa can peddle her nail polish remover tequila, so make sure there's a logo in every frame.
Yeah, I mean, and like as much as we love and hate Lisa Barlow all at the same time, it sounds like her tequila business is a legitimate business and it's not based on quote unquote social selling. There's no hey huns coming after us.
I mean, it will get you buzzed. It'll do that. It does what it says. Is it good? I don't know. Does it get you buzzed and do what it says it will? Sure.
It's just crazy to me. And it makes sense why Bravo would be like, hey, don't talk about this too much, because it's like incredibly sketchy. Like, people find themselves like in underwater when they join these MLM situations, because it's just, the promises are way too big and cannot fulfill reality. It's just so sad. I love Whitney. I love her on her healing journey. But in terms of their methods of selling wellness products, it just makes no sense. And it's like so heartbreaking. It makes me so heartbroken, because I'm like, we're rooting for you. I was rooting for you.
Yeah, totally. Yes. And I didn't know this until doing research for this particular episode, but Justin is apparently like royalty in the MLM universe. Like he has scaled a lot of MLMs, and he's just well known throughout that industry. I've always thought it was really crazy that he wasn't fired for having an affair with his employee. If that is what happened, we've all seen. Yeah, they've talked about it on the show.
Said it themselves. Like, they met at work, they had their affair. I think they even had some of their affair interactions at work. I mean, I'm just like, you're not supposed to do that. Like, you're not supposed to where you eat.
Yeah, I mean, he really must be important in that realm of business to get away with that, especially in such a conservative state.
Yeah.
Highly unusual.
Yeah, his work was okay with the affair, but they weren't okay with him being married to his affair partner, and then having a, some might say, romantic, very cringy scene where they were pretty much unclothed on camera.
Yeah, I mean, some people speculate that that's not really why he was fired. And that makes me question too. It seems pretty insane that he could have a whole affair with an employee, not get fired, and then he plays underwear twister and gets fired. That's pretty wild to me.
Affair's okay. Underwear twister.
Absolutely not.
I'm like, if it's social selling, you would think that promoting the business would on national television, you would have thought that would have been a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, Whitney has done a really good job of distancing herself from all of this on the TV show. I'm a Whitney fan. This is a part of her story where I'm like, Whitney, girl, no. I mean, I just feel that connection with Whitney. She's just the quintessential Utah girly. And I think I'll always have like some kind of connection with her that way. But yeah, it's really amazing that she's managed to distance herself from this narrative and rebrand herself away from the kind of villain-esque. I wouldn't say she was a full-on villain, but she's really done a great job of rebranding herself in the newer seasons. And yeah, I don't know, like, just curious, how do you think she's able to do that? And Mary, I mean, that's another episode for another time, but some of these ladies are just so good at like turning it around. It's pretty crazy. You have to remind yourself like of their background. You forget.
Yeah, I mean, both of them just don't really talk about it that much. Whitney, for the most part, we focus so much on how sweet she is and how she's a great friend. She's great at stirring up drama, but she's not really talking that much about her businesses, and she's not talking about her business model. And of course, with Mary, even though she talks sometimes about her church, she's not really. We focus more on her funny commentary than anything else. So I'm really surprised. Like, I didn't know that Justin was MLM royalty. I just thought he was some guy.
just some rich guy. Yeah. Yeah, it is pretty. I mean, I think they are one of the couples that genuinely have money in the bank.
Like their
But
house was legit. The one, I don't know if they sold it, but I know that like they did put a house up for sale, and it was like really nice, and it like even in their interactions, like it seems to me like they also have like a great relationship too. So I'm just surprised because a lot of the MLM tactics for selling is they're incredibly pushy, and it's really frustrating and hard to get away from the grip of someone who's trying to sell you so hard on those MLM products.
it is just sad to see people pour all of their savings, everything they've got into it. I mean, you hear about people opening up credit cards and mortgaging their houses and keeping this debt from their spouse. And these businesses really do ruin lives. They really, really do. So predatory, and they definitely prey on vulnerable groups on purpose. I mean, you don't see them approaching wealthy people with, hey, do you want to invest? You see them in poor neighborhoods, people that have a hard time getting a traditional means of income, getting a traditional job for this or that reason. And yeah, it's life ruining. It really is. Yeah, I wanted to touch on a competing brand to our brand that we used to work for, Shades. Shades was kind of short-lived, but was really, really booming in Utah in the 2010s, early 2010s, around that time. Shades sold cap sleeve undershirts. And the reason was, I mean, LDS women, you have to wear garments after you're married or go on a mission, and you must keep these garments covered at all times. The garments they used to, up until recently, have a cap sleeve, and then the legs would go down to your knees. That's very limiting in terms of like what you can wear. You can't even wear a sheer blouse, for example. And so I believe that this company started the cap sleeve undershirt fad in Utah, but yeah, Shades was pretty popular. I've also heard that MLM actually did make money from the products, which doesn't surprise me if it's true. I mean, there wasn't anywhere else you could get these for a long time, and could really, really open up a whole new world of what you could wear as an LDS woman. So they mostly sold their products through parties, and then were eventually bought out by a competing brand that came a little bit after them, but just had a more traditional business approach, and they were able to expand much faster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you've sold quite a few of those cap sleeve undershirts under the name of Shades.
Yeah.
People were calling it the other brand's name.
Yeah, I had no clue what Shades was. I just remember when a person would come in asking like, "Oh, can I look at shades in these size like in these colors, this whatever." I was like, "Oh, okay. I guess they're referring to our essential tees, to our little cap sleeve tees." So,
essential tees or wonder tees. Essential tees were like the high tier modal blend, and then wonder tees was the cheap cotton blend version.
yes. That's why I always say the essential tee, because I would always make sure to highlight. I'm like, you want the modal blend.
Yeah, love yourself.
Yeah, and the nice little finished edge too.
Yeah, the wonder tees just had a serge stitch end. Yeah, not cute.
Yeah, I mean, the silhouette is not, I don't think it's flattering. It's like, I mean, I'm rectangle shaped, and so every time I would see those, I never owned one, I never bought one, but I just imagined it on myself, and I was just like, rectangle with a little crew neck. I'm glad it helped so many people, though. Like, that was my favorite part. LDS women were able to wear so many much cuter clothes because they had the tees.
Yeah, it did. It opened up like lace blouses, sheer blouses, or dresses. I mean, if you wanted to wear a tank top over it, you could. I would try to get people to not do that, but they did. So I guess this is a good segue into one of my favorite MLMs to talk about. And it's actually not Utah based. It was based in California, but it is owned by a Mormon couple that was originally from Utah, and that's LuLaRoe.
Oh my gosh, I shudder. I shudder at the name.
Yeah, so LuLaRoe sold modest women's apparel, mostly oversized t-shirts and leggings in really wild prints.
Leggings.
Yeah. They're a whole, I don't even know. I will say I have seen tons and tons of people wearing LuLaRoe in terms of like Avon and lip sense, whatever. I don't really see a lot of people actually wearing those things. I don't really know anybody who gets their makeup from Mary Kay. Do you?
Not really.
But I know a lot of people that have LuLaRoe.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It was all over the place in the 2010s in Utah, everywhere. I mean, you couldn't roll a basketball down a hill without hitting somebody in LuLaRoe.
Yeah, and even on social media, like in the 20 teens, I would, every time I opened up my phone and went to watch any kind of video, I would just see someone selling their LuLaRoe leggings on live. And I was just like, they're just holding up the ugliest leggings. And I was like, who the heck is going to buy that? Like, I could see, like, there were some interesting patterns where it's like, oh, if you're a science teacher and you love planets and stuff like that, I could see how some of that would work. But some of them, I was just like, this is just downright ugly. Like, it looked like the most random patterns ever just thrown up on a pair of leggings. And it was just atrocious. And apparently the solid color anything was like gold because they were so rare.
Yeah. I mean, so I will say the fabric was really, really soft. But yeah, it predominantly sold leggings, and unlike most MLMs, you could not choose the products you were selling, nor was there a catalog. You had to just buy cases of these clothes, and the patterns and sizes that you got, or the fabric blend that you got, it was a total and complete surprise. Like,
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
like,
you
didn't even know what you were going to sell.
Exactly. You could not be like, I need black leggings in these sizes. It was just, you order a case. Let's pray that they're good ones. Some of the warehouse was not very well organized. So, I mean, and having worked in fashion in some way, shape, or form over the past long while, I will tell you that people may not realize that you can't just sell whatever's closest to you in your warehouse. You don't want to pack and pick the most recent stuff. It's kind of like produce in that you want to sell the old stuff first, even if it's like an evergreen style. Like, if it's a style you're always going to have, like rubber rain boots, like, whatever, you still, the older a style is, the longer it sits in the warehouse, it is prone to molding. The glue can crack. I mean, the packaging, of course, can get dusty and gross, but really, like, the product still breaks down in these very humid, dusty, warehouses with extreme cold phases and warm phases. And there were reports of people getting moldy clothes and
Ew.
clothes that smelled bad. Just being told to wash it. Just wash it yourself. It'll be safe if you just wash it yourself. The company really pitched all of these like surprise patterns and colors and whatnot as like scarcity and uniqueness, which of course like became very, I mean, a lot of people would describe it as abusive, like the way that they were told to pitch it as like, oh, this is rare, this is limited time. And the company was not careful about where they cut the fabric. So there's prints that, look like there's a penis coming out of your crotch, or, just unfortunate shapes in the crotch region, we will say.
It's like cat explosion on your crotch.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, if you've got to Google it if you haven't Googled it before, but I mean, there's an example of like a Mexican food themed legging where there was just two tacos sewn together crotch in the shape of a circle, or like a travel themed one with the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and the Leaning Tower of Pisa is in a very unfortunate position. Just do yourself a favor and Google LuLaRoe mistakes. Just do that. It will be a great 20 minutes. So yeah, there were a lot of structural problems and controversies in LuLaRoe. Starter packages were very expensive, starting around $4,000 to buy cases of these leggings and t-shirts and dresses that you could not see, you could not choose, you could not curate. Consultants were pressured into holding about $20,000 worth of inventory at any given time, which is
wow.
Yikes. You cannot do that in that industry. You can't. Stuff goes out of style. Not that any of this was ever in style, but stuff goes out of season. You don't want to have your fleece leggings in the summer, etc. So people got into a lot of debt because of the starter package costs and the recommendations that they were given. I mentioned earlier I had a family member that sold for Avon. I mean, it was a big waste of time, and you did have to pay some starter fees, but you didn't have to just buy a bunch of inventory to sell and hope that that's the right thing that your customers would want. You would get a catalog and samples. You could go from there. So this is very unusual. In 2019, there was a large lawsuit from the state of Washington. They alleged false income claims and criticized that recruiting tactics, and accused the founders of hiding assets as well. So it really started to collapse between 2019 and 2021. LuLaRoe agreed to pay $4.75 million settlement to refund their sellers, and apparently the company tried to pivot after that. But yeah, I think this is really like the story of people trust each other in their networks. It's a lot easier to get a person to sign up to sell under you if you've been going to church with them, if they're in your ward, if they go to church in your region. Investing in your neighbor's business is not unusual in Utah. I think that makes it all the more easy for people to get trapped in these kinds of schemes. Yeah, that's one of my favorite ones to talk about. There's a really, really, really great documentary on Amazon called LuLaRich. They dive not only into the business, but also the family that started it. They are absolutely bonkers. They're insane. Have you seen it?
I haven't.
You haven't?
I'm gonna
Oh
have to
my
watch it
gosh.
now. Because, oh
Yes.
my goodness, is this LuLaRoe story? Do you think that LuLaRoe has to be the most nefarious MLM? Like, do you think that has to be one of the worst that you've heard of so far? Because I cannot imagine spending $4,000 on product, like down to your last dime, $4,000 on product you've never seen, and just all of that is just so scary.
I would say Young Living is the more nefarious because I've actually heard of people dying, like being told, I again highly recommend the Dream podcast. There's also a really good episode of Sawbones that talks about Young Living, and Sawbones is a podcast that is written by a medical doctor. So you know that the information is legitimate. But yeah, I mean, even my brother who has diabetes, he has been told by a Young Living consultant that he doesn't need insulin and that he should use these oils. But I know that the company has distanced themselves from like, oh, we don't tell people to say that, but it is very much part of that culture. And I mean, the entire thing was founded by somebody who claimed to have medical expertise. I don't personally know of anybody who's gotten into a crippling amount of debt selling doTERRA. I mean, the starter kits are pretty small. It's a jewelry box size of little oils, but yeah, I mean, people have died trying to cure cancer with essential oils, trying to cure their diabetes with essential oils.
I'm just sitting here like reconsidering my whole freaking life right now because like as my parents are medical professionals, I've got a lot of people in the medical field in my family, and it's just like blows my mind that people would just be like, yeah, like some essential oils, like lemongrass and eucalyptus, that's all I need to cure seizures, or like, yeah, like giving birth in a whirlpool. That sounds like
idea.
Yeah, like holding the baby underwater, like that's just horrible. It's like so heartbreaking. I'm over here like delusional. I'm like, leggings must be the ugly leggings must be the plague of the earth. No, it's believing
it's
that
salt on my eyes.
Yeah. I'm like me having too much faith in humanity, thinking that, oh my gosh, like that is horrific. I cannot it's just unfathomable how much pain that has caused these like trying to cure like these snake oil salesmen.
Yes, yeah. And I have, like I've said before, I as far as I know, the company have tried to distance themselves from making direct medical claims, but it still happens. They haven't done enough to prevent it. I mean, if you're not trying to cure your illness with essential oils, then what are you buying it for? Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say Young Living probably is the most nefarious. But in terms of like debt, I mean, learning about MLMs, I did go on like a deep dive during the early pandemic, just watching MLM documentaries and listening to podcasts and things like that. And I do think, like, in terms of people getting in debt, it's got to be LuLaRoe. It's got to be LuLaRoe. I mean, the solution was just always buy more cases of these leggings, right? Like if you get a case of leggings that all look like, Mexican food genitals or map of Europe body parts, then the solution is, buy another buy another box and mix it in. And I mean, LuLaRoe as well, they had such a big social media presence too. And I think it's just a lot more visible in your face than some of the others. I will say they were a lot more modernized in that regard, less parties, less door-to-door, and more Facebook Live stuff. The family that founded it is very interesting. Large quintessential Mormon family with some strange dynamics. A lot of the kids had, as they became adults, the children of the founders all had very essential roles, like in operations. I mean, and I don't know their credentials, but I don't think they had the training to be doing that kind of stuff.
Imagine Succession over LuLaRoe.
The Utah version of Succession.
You just don't want it enough.
Yeah, in the documentary, they talk about how, all of their sales and orders were tracked in a live Google Doc that just anybody and everybody had editing access to. And so, as you know, like if you try to, two people on separate computers are trying to edit a Google Doc, it's not going to save properly. So imagine hundreds of people editing this very, very, very basic Google Sheets. You just aren't going to be able to keep that. But yeah, it gets pretty crazy when one of their children, they adopted a child, and then that child married one of their genetic children, which is a little unusual.
What?
And apparently Katy Perry came and performed at one of their conventions. Shame on you, Katy. I have been anti Katy Perry for years and years. I'm glad everyone's seeing the light.
Not all money is good money. That was bad money. She's got bad karma. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Maybe that's why she hasn't had a hit in such a long time.
I got lots to say about that lady. But yeah.
No, thank you so much for enlightening me on all these MLMs, and I feel like I know so much more about Utah history, Utah culture.
And now you want to start your own business.
Yes. I'm like, okay, gear the entrepreneurial spirit towards something legitimate and not terrifying. Yeah, this is a good reminder to be a boss babe. Not under these conditions though.
Yeah. I mean, like I was mentioning before, the Dream podcast is a really great resource that I used. I highly recommend season 1, season 2. The tone and subject shifts a lot. Sawbones does a great episode on essential oils and talks about Young Living's roots, and then LuLaRich. And I will put the rest of my resources in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please tell us if you've tried any MLM products. Do you have any LuLaRoe leggings? What do they look like? What did they suggest? That's what I want.
We need to know, please. If you have cute ones, I want to see them.
Yeah, prove it.
Yeah, tag us on Instagram. Or if you have any particularly offensive examples of bad ones, also let us know. Tag us in those too.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you for listening. And we will see you next week.
Bye.
This show is an independent production. The Soap Opera podcast is not affiliated with Bravo, ABC, TLC, or HBO. All names, shows, and references remain the property of their respective right holders. The opinions and speculations expressed are our own and do not represent those of mentioned programs or individuals. Additional credits. Our theme song is The Modern Maiden's Tale by the Ziegfeld Follies, courtesy of the Library of Congress. Thank you for listening.
And if my marriage proves to be phony, give me lots of alimony. That is the 20th century maiden spread.